Last year we got some amazing harvests off these trees, but this year I want even more. I want bigger harvests, healthier trees, and bigger, better quality fruit. And that all begins with one thing I never skip. Before spring arrives, there's a job I always make time for in the orchard: pruning. So today I'm taking you along as I prune all our fruit trees and share what I'm doing to encourage loads of growth and fruit this season. Okay, so let's begin with this cherry tree here. So this is supposed to be a royal crimson miniature cherry tree, but you can see how big it is. And it's not even quite a year old yet. So I've already pruned this twice down here and here, and it's just grown crazy in the last few months. So I'm gonna prune it about here on this outward facing bud so that we get a branch growing out this way. We don't want branches growing in towards the middle because they can cross over and cause damage to your fruit. So always choose an outward facing bud and then just cut on an angle above. I've got my pruners ready. They've been sterilized so we're not contaminating. You know, if I've been cutting tomatoes, I might have some mildew or something on them. So they're nice and clean. So we're gonna give it a cut right there. I just want to show you my peach tree here. This is a Tropic Beauty peach, and I pruned this back at the end of summer, I think it was, and I'm quite happy with the shape of this. So it's nice and open through the center for airflow, and all of the branches are facing out. There's nothing crossing over. They're all kind of like on a 45-degree angle or less, nothing sticking straight up. So this is pretty much really well pruned and in good shape for fruit this coming spring. And I just noticed I already have a little flower bud there, which is crazy because we are only in the second month of winter right now. And this is what I'm a bit afraid of because it's been such a warm winter that the fruit are gonna think it's spring already and flower, and we're not gonna get any actual fruit for spring. It's been very warm so far this winter. Hopefully it can cool down soon to stop any more buds from flowering. Okay, so you might have noticed over here I have my mulberry tree that used to be in the garden bed there, and I've been talking about moving it for a while because I don't want the roots breaking this curved brick wall that we built. So I moved it the other day out into the space where the roots aren't going to be affected by anything. That brick wall stops there, so basically it can just spread out everywhere here. But it's time to prune this tree before spring comes because it's getting quite tall there, so let's do that now. I'm gonna give my pruners a spray down again so I'm not cross-contaminating anything. Give them a wipe. Okay, now this mulberry tree has been pruned before. That was the last spot that I pruned it, so we've had all this growth over the last few months. I have had some possums coming along this fence here and they've chewed down the top, and I have found something that seems to be helping right now with possums. I've put Vicks along the fence, all along the fence around there. I've just smeared Vicks everywhere because it's a very strong smelling petroleum jelly, and it seems to be working. I had some strawberries over there that they chewed down, like hanging on the fence, and they're starting to grow back now, so I'm guessing the Vicks is working. So if you're having issues with possum, try putting Vicks all along the fence line because they don't like the smell. All right, back to pruning. So these grow vigorously, so I'm gonna take it down quite a bit. So that one came out here. I might try and get one growing out that side just to balance the tree out a bit. I don't really have buds. The buds are just kind of here. So I might just snip it here like that and take all that off. This down here, these are a bit dead, so I'm just going to snip those off. This branch here, it looks kind of dead, but there is a little bit of green on that tip there, so I'm going to leave it. There's nothing really crossing over in here. These plants tend to grow just straight up anyway. They don't really spread out that much, and I'm happy to keep it singular so it's not encroaching on the walking space. That's looking pretty good. I'm happy with that. It's ready to go for spring. Okay, this nectarine tree that I potted up a few months ago, it's flowering as well, which is kind of annoying, and it's got these water sprouts that have just taken off this vigorous growth, which they're not good. I'm gonna trim this one off the bottom here, get rid of that. And I'm probably gonna trim that one off as well. And then we've got one here growing straight up the middle, so I'm gonna get rid of that because we don't want anything growing in towards the middle. And I've got another one there growing straight up as well, so I'm going to cut that off. And then we've got this branch here, and this branch is kind of like leaning down, which is kind of a strange thing, like with these nectarine trees, like the branches tend to hang down, which I've never come across before. Snip that dead bit off there. That's fine, as long as they're not kind of growing up straight up, the fruit should be fine sitting on those. This here, I mean, this branch here is gonna be the one that will possibly fruit, so I might snip this one here and hopefully it'll branch out this way. And the way you can tell if you're gonna get fruit this year, peaches and stone fruit tend to fruit on second year growth, and if you see like double or triple buds, that's usually going to be your fruit. A single bud is not, that'll just be a leaf, but a double or triple bud is a good chance it'll fruit. So I'll bring you in close and show you the flowers and where we have some triple buds, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can see we have a beautiful flower there, but it's way too early to be flowering, unfortunately. I have some more flowers over there, which is unfortunate because they're not, I don't think they're gonna turn into fruit. It's gonna get too cold yet. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can make this out on camera, but that there, that is a triple bud. I'll show you a single bud. Okay, there's another one there. That's a triple there. That's a triple there. You should be able to see that. That one there is a single. So we've got a single and a triple. Hopefully you can make that out. But yeah, that's the difference. Alright, next up we have my Pacum subtropical pear tree here, which we didn't get any fruit off last year, but we can definitely see some buds on this one this year. So pear trees typically fruit on what they're called spurs. So they're like these like wrinkly things here. So I'll come in close and show you those in a minute. So there's definitely a few of those this year, which I didn't see last year. But then we've got this long growth here. Pears and apples tend to grow with a central leader. So this is the central leader here. I mean, you can decide which one's central leader, but that's kind of the thickest one, so we don't want the branches higher than that. So I'm going to bring these down to the same side as here, the central leader. So the difference with like pears and apples compared to like peaches, apricots, nectarine, plum, you tend to prune those in a vase shape style where there's an open center, but with apples and pears, they just kind of grow up with a central leader. So I'm going to bring this one down to about here. I'll bring you in closer so you can see. Okay, so here's our central leader here. So I'm going to bring this one down. There's a bud there on the outside, so I'm just going to snip it there. This one over here, that could be a fruiting spur. That's already been trimmed there once before, so I might actually just snip it there again, just so it's in line with this central leader. And this one behind here, I can see some little buds there, so I'll just snip it there. So we've got that outward facing bud, and then that looks like a fruiting spur there. We don't really have any crossing over branches or anything dead that needs snipping off, so I'm happy with that. Nice easy one. So that looks like a fruiting spur there for the pear tree. Okay, the next one we're going to do is the pomegranate, and I've noticed already it has some flowers that are probably going to bloom. So I'm just going to give this a light prune now because we've got some branches over here that something's chewed on, so I'm just going to take all that off and then just let this do its thing. Just going to take this back to there just to cut off all that chewed bit. And I might take this one back because it's hanging out a bit too much. That one looks a bit chewed. That's a bit chewed. That one's hanging down a lot. I'm just going to snip that one back. And just tipping trees as well can give them a nice new growth flourish. I'm just going to cut this one out of the center there. And that one. Oh, got to be careful of pomegranates because they're spiky. There's nothing crossing over too much. I'm going to get rid of that. I can't see any dead or diseased branches. There's a dead one there, so I'll snip that off. And that one, and that one. Other than that, it looks pretty good, so we'll see what happens with these flowers. I haven't had fruit off this yet, so hopefully this year we'll get some. Alright, next up is the apple tree, which has an apple on it. So every year this tree gets confused and throws me an apple during autumn. So I've just left it on there. I might pull it off, I'll see. And again, apples are the same as pears, so they fruit on what you call spurs, like these wrinkly little stubby things. So I'll show you those up close in a minute. But I can see a few buds at the end there. And again, you can have 1 or 2 central leaders on your apple or pear tree. This one has just got 2 naturally. That's just how it was when I got it. So I've just left kind of 2 central leaders. So there's one there and one here. So we want them to be even so that one's not overtaking the other, because that's not good when that happens. So I'm just going to bring the height of this down as well, because I want to keep my fruit trees quite small. And I know these I can't see any fruiting spurs on these branches, so they're fine to bring down in height. So literally just going to snip that one there. And this one here. And then this one. I mean, there's lots of little buds there, but I'm not sure. That kind of looks like a fruiting bud there. So, where are we here? Looks like that one's been snipped there once before, so I might just take it off there. And then these side branches. And then there's lots of buds on there, so I'm going to leave that. There's buds there. Just going to leave that because there's nothing crossing over. I might just bring this one down a touch. Just tip it a little bit. This one here is growing straight up from the bottom there, so I might just tip this one as well, just to help it bush out more, because the bushier it becomes, the more fruit you can get. They all look okay. There's another longish one here. Just tip that. That all looks fine. So that's kind of about it for this one. Might tip that one. Alright, so we've brought it down in height a bit, which is good because in spring it's just going to shoot up again, and we don't want it too high that we can't pick the fruit. So you just want to keep it lowish. And then we've still got our fruiting spurs, so I'll show you those now. Okay, hopefully you can see that. See how wrinkled that is? So that is like that is a fruiting spur, those little wrinkled things there. And I do have a bunch of flowers there that look like they're about to open as well, so yeah, the fruit trees are very confused this winter because it's been so warm. There's another little bud there. And my apple. Little teeny tiny apple. So you can see that I've cut this one above an outward facing bud there, so hopefully this will sprout out that way. So you want everything going outwards, not inwards. Just want to quickly mention the blueberries because these have started flowering like crazy already. And I had 4 pots that I needed to repot with some azalea mix because they were quite yellow and the acidity was way off. They were way too alkaline. This one here that's bearing loads of flowers, the acidity in this one is great. The leaves are nice and green, so it's fine. This one here I still need to repot. You can see how terrible the leaves are. They're quite pale yellow and quite veiny. You can almost see through them. So these poor plants, I potted them originally with half compost, half azalea mix, and they're just not acidic enough, so I need to repot these up. This one here as well, it's the same. So if you want big harvests of blueberries, make sure to test your acidity very soon to make sure they are acidic enough. I think they like around 5.5 pH. That's how you get really big harvests and nice sweet blueberries. So this plant here is nice and green. You can see how healthy that one is, so that one's fine. This one here is fine as well, nice and green. And these have not lost their leaves this winter because it's just been so warm. But I did redo these ones a few days ago because they were looking terrible. So they've been done now with azalea mix, a whole fresh pot of it, and I put some Mantec sulfur in as well to help with bringing the acidity up or down, whichever way it is. You can see this one here, I've done this pot as well. So it's got a flower, but the leaves are very yellow and veiny. So those two have been done. And this one here is looking nice and healthy. It's got loads of flowers and the leaves are nice strong green colour. So that's what your blueberries should look like. And if they don't, test your acidity and rebalance the soil with some sulfur or repot with the azalea mix. So hopefully you enjoyed this quick little video of how I prune my fruit trees to get bigger harvests during spring. So the 3 main things to remember is to remove any dead diseased branches and any branches that are crossing over with stone fruit like peach, nectarine, plum, apricot. Prune them to a vase shape so that there's a good airflow. Make sure the center's nice and open. And with pears and apples and sweet cherries, they usually have a central leader, so they're the ones that tend to grow straight upwards. So just make sure there's like 1 or 2 central leaders and make sure that all the branches are kind of even across the top. There's none that are taking over others. And towards probably the start of August, I will start fertilizing all my fruit trees. They'll be starting to come out of dormancy probably around early August. So I'll fertilize all my fruit trees with potash, phosphorus, and some blood and bone and compost, just to give them a really strong start for the fruiting season, help them set fruit, and that should get me on my way to having bigger harvests and better fruit, which I cannot wait for. And I cannot believe we are only about 6 weeks away from these fruit trees starting to flower and set fruit, which is super exciting. Hopefully we don't get any more warmer weather so that they start flowering even more, because then we won't really get much in spring. So cross our fingers for the temperature to start cooling down from now until we head into spring for a big harvest. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.